welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. So today I'm doing some distress oxides combinations and these are all going to be blues. So I did end up filming another video before this, but my phone actually died halfway through and it doesn't save it. So unfortunately I did lose, a couple of the ink combinations, but I do show you at the end ones that I've already done. So I decided to do this as a lookbook for myself, so whenever I needed to do like a color challenge or I wanted to make a card or something like that, I could just flick through this, see what works, and get ideas that way. Because I don't know about you guys, but before I did this, I ended up doing swatches every time before I started making a card, and basically I ended up spending like 15 minutes doing that and finding something that works, and this way I actually save time. So for this combination, I'm using Shaded Lilac, Blueprint Sketch, and Chipped Sapphire. Now, I don't have many Distress Oxides. I don't even have like half of them, but I do have, I think, over 33, maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but I do have enough to do some color combinations. So this is actually part 2. So part 1 will obviously be going up first, but for part 1, I actually show you how I did the little cut-offs to make these. I also will link down in the description the measurements for these cards, but basically I bought some 9-pocket storage files, I guess you call them, and they're originally for like Pokemon cards and stuff like that, but I'm going to be using them for this. So the paper that I'm using is cartridge paper. It's 130 milligrams of thickness, which is really great, and it's also what I use the most for stamping and colouring and stuff, so it was just easier to have this on hand, and it's quite inexpensive. I think I pay £1.50 for 100 sheets or something like that, so it's really inexpensive. But yeah, so once I've done my ink blending, all I do is I put it into my folder. Now realistically I should let it dry a little bit, but otherwise I'll end up losing it, and I'm using my label maker. So here are the ones, so you can just pause it and get the idea of what it is. The labels are back to front. I did realise this, like where it says Peacock Feathers, that is actually the black soot end, but I wanted to go from darkest to lightest because that's generally what I do. Yeah, the next colour combination is Tumbled Glass, Mermaid Lagoon, and Blueprint Sketch. And then the next one is Tumbled Glass, Faded Jeans, and Ground Espresso. So, like I said, I have another video which I did, which was just to do an ink swatch book, which obviously is the first part, so I will leave that video linked in my description if you haven't seen that. Also, let me know down in the comments what color combinations you want to see next. So I am going to be doing different colors, so I'm going to be doing blues, browns, pinks, purples, greens. I do want to do greys, but I just don't have many on hand, so I'm going to just work with what inks I have first, and then we'll add to this collection again in a couple of months when I start to buy more inks and stuff. But first things I need to do is I need to find a way of storing my inks better, because I previously bought an actual ink storage unit, and before I put it together I should have emailed them and asked some questions, but I didn't think it would be such a complex thing. So basically it doesn't tell you not to paint it first, it says to just put it together. And it turns out you should paint it after you've put it together, because the paint actually expands the wood. So mine doesn't actually fit together like it's supposed to, but it does work for what I need it to do, and it's out of the way. But I'm going to be asking my neighbour, I think, who's a joiner. So the room that I have, obviously if you guys have been following me for a while, I have an attic space, so obviously the roof slants a bit, and I have a shelf that is like a triangle for the point of the roof, and I have the 30 storage ink shelf up on that, but obviously because the roof slants, I can't fit another 30 slot ones in, so I do have to either buy a smaller one or get one that's custom built to the roof line, which can be quite complicated, so I don't really know. But yeah guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Everything I use I'm going to link in my description. So some of the Distress Oxides I've got off eBay because it's cheaper. Other times I've got them off 7 Hills because it's cheaper that way. So whatever way I've got them, I will link in my description for you. Some of them I did get off a girl on Instagram, so obviously I can't link her because, she only had, that's not a word. had certain amounts left, and basically she's sold up. So yeah, but I do recommend going on Facebook and stuff and going on your marketplace and just seeing if anybody's giving some away, like a job lot, because that is the quickest way to build up your collection. Because I actually realized that paying for the brand new ones may be a good idea, but it actually doesn't make sense sometimes. You know, I got some off Facebook before, and it was like, I think I got like 6 for £5 plus like £2.50 postage, and then I actually bought re-inkers for those, and I spent like £20 on re-inkers, but the re-inkers are going to last me quite a while, so it did actually work out cheaper that way. So maybe just look into it before you actually purchase it. I remember when I first started card making, I was like, you know what, everybody's using distress oxides and distress inks. It's not something I'm going to get into, and here we are 3 years in, and this is all I seem to want to use now. So, but yeah, so I'm just going to trim it down because as you can see, it is a little bit too big. But I'm still working how to use my paper trimmer. It's not something I actually enjoy. I hate it. But, you know, sometimes it is just quicker doing this. So I'm going to insert some music just to finish this off, but it's nearly coming to the end anyways. But like I said, if you guys have any color combinations that you like, let me know down in the comments, and I will do those for you. But until the next video, guys, stay safe, happy crafting, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. So I was going to insert music, and then I realized how I filmed this, so I apologize, there's not going to be no music. But basically, these storage folders are also a great way to store your ink blending sponges. So, like I said, I'm very limited on space, and the shelf that I have doesn't allow me to have Velcro on the back of them. So this is the best way that I found to organize these, and I think it's just a great way to store them. So as you can see, for some reason I have 2 sponges for tumbled glass. No idea why that is, but it was my most used, and I kept losing my sponges. So hopefully this prevents that from happening now. But yeah, I also need somebody to tell me how to prevent inky fingers, because no matter what I do, I still end up getting them. I do have some silicone finger protectors. They sort of work, it just depends. And then I also have tried tape, you know, and then I've also tried using paper so I don't have to touch the page, but I still end up getting ink everywhere no matter what I do. So yeah, just let me know. The ring that is holding all these together actually came from nail art. So in the past I used to do a lot of nail art display sticks, and the rings came with them to keep them all together. And basically I don't need the false things anymore because I don't really do nail art as much as I used to. So, you know, I don't need to keep them all stored together, and I use them for this instead. But here is the end result, and like I said, I did do one before, so it was scattered straw, old paper, and vintage photo, I think it was, and I used that for a Halloween combination. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.